Title: Not So Idle Sunday in Sudan, Ceasefire Ends, Chaos Resumes. TLDR. Khartoum, the Sudanese capital, is once again looking like a Michael Bay movie set with fighting raging after a 24-hour ceasefire ended. It's not only Khartoum, though. Residents report city deterioration outside the capital too. Meanwhile, Sudanese citizens heading north are facing tightened entry rules by Egypt. Khartoum on a Sunday used to mean leisurely strolls along the Nile. Now, think less leisurely Sunday stroll, and more live-action reenactment of Call of Duty. After a 24-hour ceasefire expired, the calm evaporated faster than a puddle in the Sahara, replaced with the deafening din of heavy clashes and artillery fire. Residents reported airstrikes almost immediately after the expiration of the ceasefire. The playground of this deadly real-life game? Some of the most densely populated neighborhoods of the capital. Battles are taking place right at the doorstep of regular folks in Haj Youssef, Bari. This city, along with Khartoum and Omdurman, forms a trifecta that makes up the Sudanese capital around the beautiful confluence of the River Nile. While the ceasefire lasted, it was brokered by none other than the US and Saudi Arabia in some sweet desert talks in Jeddah. These countries mentioned that this brief pause in the fighting allowed for delivery of some much-needed humanitarian assistance. So hey, every cloud has a silver lining, right? Or in this case, every artillery shell? Let's take a moment here, though. Has anyone really stopped to consider what it's like to live in a city that's transformed into a war zone overnight? Imagine waking up one morning, and instead of brewing a cup of joe and scrolling through the latest turned-up news, you're crouched in your basement, listening to the rumble of tanks outside. Can you fathom what that's like? Not that things are any better for Sudanese folks heading north, looking for some peace and quiet. Egypt seems to be cranking up the volume on their entry rules, making it even more challenging for those fleeing from Sudan. As if escaping a war-torn city wasn't tough enough, right? The situation leaves us with so many unanswered questions. What happens next in Sudan? Can another ceasefire be established? And ultimately, what does all this mean for the regular Sudanese citizens, who just want their peaceful Sunday strolls back? And for you, dear reader, here's a question to chew on. What do you think the international community should do to help the people of Sudan in these troubled times?